Welcome to Extreme Desire. This week we're going to be on a bighorn sheep hunt in eastern Oregon with a good friend of ours, so...
Mr. Ed Boero.
Yes.
Yeah, Ed was a lucky draw recipient of a bighorn sheep tag here in Oregon. Ed's applied for many, many years, just like I have. I've never drawn one yet, or can't either one, but boom. He calls me up. I was the first phone call. Randy, you're not going to believe it. I drew a sheep tag, so will you go? And of course, yes, we will go. The funny thing about Ed drawing this tag was he didn't know it for 1 month.
Can you imagine drawing a bighorn sheep tag and not knowing?
I know. So we give him unmerciful garbage because if you draw a sheep tag, I mean, it's like you just know. Everything didn't come out the very first day. So Ed looked the first day, all he seen was unsuccessful, didn't think much of it, and he went on vacation. Because he just retired and he went on vacation for a month. He comes back and going through his mail and boom. He calls me up. I was the first phone call. Randy, you're not going to believe it. I drew a sheep tag. We said, well, we'll start doing some scouting with you and whatever we can and go on a hunt. Well, we got there. Ed actually went over 4 or 5 days early before a sheep hunt. He also went a few times throughout the summer and learned where he wanted to go and what he wanted to do and so on and so forth, but seen a lot of sheep.
He had one picked out he called Pretty Boy that he thought was a real nice sheep and looked like it from the pictures.
Yeah, it was a beautiful ram, you know, it had these big lamb tips all the way out, a little over full curl, just an incredible ram. And he sent me that picture. I said, that's a shooter ram, you know, that's a beautiful ram. And we got there 2 days before the season opened and got to go do some scouting. Yeah,
yes.
It was a lot of fun.
Lots of sheep.
Yeah, first day we get there, I mean, just right off the bat, he says in this certain area he'd been seeing some rams, and that's where Pretty Boy had been spotted a time or two throughout the days he was there, and bang, right off the bat, we spot rams.
Yep.
And sheep and ewes and whatever.
Well, with them being in full rut this time of year, not only did we get tons of footage, but I mean, you had rams sniffing ewes every direction you looked. You had rams fighting. You had rams leaving because they love them and leave them, you know. They just don't hang out with them for very long. And it was pretty exciting.
Whenever you find ewes, you usually find a decent ram.
Yes.
That time of year, which is different than we're used to.
That's for sure. We avoided the ewes prior to this.
Yeah, in other hunts, you just look for rams in their bachelor groups, but this was different. So anyway, that first day, like I said, we spotted lots of sheep. You know, that one ram, he was there just sniffing up that ewe, hot and heavy, and then we'd hike off to another spot, and sure enough, more sheep, more rams, but we never did find Pretty Boy.
No, we didn't. It kept telling us about him, but we did not find him that first day.
Yeah, first day, Pretty Boy was non-existent. I spotted one pretty good ram way off in the bottom of a canyon, bottom down by the river, but it was getting late and I couldn't tell if it was or was not him. So we hiked on back to the truck.
Welcome to Extreme Desire, Western big game hunting. It's not always perfect, but it's always real. Proudly brought to you by Benchmade Knives, made in USA. Weatherby, makers of legendary firearms, now based out of Sheridan, Wyoming. Cabela's, world's foremost outfitters. Hanwag Boots, outdoor footwear since 1921. Free range, public lands, Western big game hunting. It's our extreme desire. This segment brought to you by Leupold, America's Sport Optics Authority.
Day 2 started out very similar to day number 1. Ed had a couple friends with him before we got there. Is Don Sheets and Terry Hamilton. First time we'd met
Great
him.
guys, super great, lots of fun.
Nice people and a lot of help. More eyes you have out there when you're scouting for, like something like this. When you draw a tag like that, you need to get some help. Get as many eyeballs out there as you can to cover the ground to try to find you a trophy animal. And also Troy Corum was a friend of ours.
Yep.
And he works for Benchmade Knife Company.
Yeah, we were going to split up, and I think we did later in the day.
Yeah, we did, right on.
But we saw those sheep right off the bat, and it's just like, wow, we were all intrigued and filming and watching and
But once again, no pretty boy.
No pretty boy.
So then we all split up, and they go their way, we go our way, and we spend some time trying to locate a big ram or pretty boy. Ed had his heart pretty much set on that ram.
Yes, he did.
But he wasn't tied to it if we could find a bigger, better ram. So we split up, and Candy and I and Ed go one way, and Don and Terry go another way, and we're all scouting. And because Troy didn't get there till
I think he got there midday.
Yeah, midday, didn't he? So the morning we didn't, but in the evening we go back out. But we go hiking over this hill, and we set up, and all of a sudden Candy goes, "Here comes a ram walking right towards us."
Right towards us. Not that far away even.
No, when he first come over, he was a ways off, but he just kept coming and coming, and all of a sudden, as soon as I put my glass on him, it's like, that's Pretty Boy.
That's him.
And here comes Pretty Boy, walks right up within 150 yards or something like that. He was close.
Stood broadside.
Did all kinds of...
but obviously it's the day before the season's open. There's nothing you can do but film, so we did lots of that.
Here it is midday.
Yeah.
Turns and he walks off beside us, goes over to a few more ewes. He's just looking for a hot ewe. And he goes over some ewes that didn't satisfy him, and
he kept on a trucking.
Over the hill and out of sight and gone.
We saw Pretty Boy around that corner over there.
So who's Pretty Boy?
Pretty Boy is a nice ram. We spotted him 2 days ago. And he, I don't know, he's a big ram. He kind of comes out on the edges. Probably the best ram we've seen.
Pretty nice one. We'll see if we find him.
We spotted him 2 days ago in the bottom of this canyon chasing a ewe. And then you might have seen him yesterday, and then we saw him again this morning right over that hill. Got within 250 yards of him. He's a nice ram.
You'll take him?
I'll take him.
Now it's like, we got to try to find Pretty Boy before dark. And we all hike off over these ridges.
And you're looking off in some really, you can tell by the scenery, but it's not just a little ridge or a valley between. It's like sheer down and sheer up.
Yeah, you're losing
a
1,000,
long
at least
ways.
1,000, maybe 1,500 foot of elevation from the top to the bottom of that canyon and then up the other side. It's just straight up and straight down. But we go where we last seen Pretty Boy, and we glass and glass and glass. And I think it was Terry. Terry spotted him.
Spotted him first.
Yeah, off over. We spotted a ram, and we all got to looking, and it took us a while, and sure enough, we'd found Pretty Boy. Okay, we just located Pretty Boy again.
That's right.
And it's just turning dark on us. Tomorrow morning's opening day. If we can find him, and it'd be wondrous, but we'll see. He's the one that Ed wants, so we'll see if we can find him again.
Yeah, we spotted him 3 days ago, right down off this ridge. And then we found him again today, and he walked right to us, 250 yards away, right underneath us. And today, Terry and Don found him in this back canyon, so we're hoping he'll be there tomorrow.
Hope for the best and pray for the rest.
Yeah.
I like that. Beautiful sunset. Look at that.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
I should have had you guys standing in front of it.
Hey, so I should say thank you guys for all helping me with this. What a great crew and what a great team. Thank you so much.
We haven't said we'd help you yet.
Thank you. Today the team came together. We were out looking, and we didn't find them on our side. These guys found them on their side.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
This evening, yeah.
Here's to the shooters.
Teamwork.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Opening morning.
Yeah, tomorrow.
We're ready to go.
Happen.
Yeah.
Just like this morning.
Yeah, well, if opening morning was today,
You'd have had it
yeah. Pretty Boy would be,
on your wall.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
If we can find him tomorrow, there's no guarantees he's going to be anywhere there.
We covered some ground that day.
Yeah, he covered a lot of ground.
He could have been miles away.
And so we're just hoping he found a hot ewe that he wanted to visit with for a while. You know, how that goes. So once again, we all come back. You know, we're pretty happy we found him, but we're very nervous hoping we find him again, because opening day is tomorrow.
This segment is brought to you by St. James Sporting Properties, specializing in hunting, fishing, and recreational properties.
Now, opening morning was a bit of a shock.
It was. We'd had such beautiful weather, and we got up opening morning, and it wasn't just clouded in. You couldn't see 10 feet.
It was fogged in. In that country, you can fog in.
It could stay for days.
Yeah. In that country, it can
We were a
stay
little
for days.
nervous.
It's like, oh, please don't be setting in for a permanent while.
Well, as you can see, we snuck out here before light, and I'm not sure why. I think we could have slept in. We know that Pretty Boy, the one we've been looking for, is, we think he's down here somewhere. We put him to bed last night right over this hill.
And the fog is thicker than pea soup.
This fog has come in. And so we're right now relaxing. You know what? Sunshiny every day.
Every morning.
So, you know, a few clouds, but really nice, cold. But you could, the visibility, these canyons are beautiful for miles. And what a great place, though.
Now that the season's open,
Now the season's open.
we can't do nothing.
We can't do anything. Yeah, we're in a fog.
Well, we'll wait, see what happens.
Yeah, it'll burn off, and we'll hopefully find him. And, you know, so in the meantime, we just got to be patient and enjoy each other's company, I suppose.
This is what we do when you can't see 5 feet.
Oh, we see 5 feet. We see
ourselves.
50 feet.
So we're looking at the rams on phones.
Yeah,
Phone scopes, studying them.
we're studying our sheep that we've been looking at, because we got nothing else to do. Seemed like forever.
It seemed like forever, but it was really only about 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, started breaking up, and then of course we're out there looking through every fog hole you could see, and finally it lifted. We could see across that canyon where we'd last seen Pretty Boy, and he wasn't where we last seen him, but he was on the same ridge, just higher up.
Yeah.
Closer to the top. Well, we found Big Boy, but he is a heck of a long ways across the canyon over there with a bunch of ewes, and he's in charge. But we probably ought to get our butts in gear.
I think we should.
We found him. We're all in one position, and at this point, we got to make a plan. And we had multiple plans, but look at the maps and you try to figure out the topography and the best way to get to where that ram was.
We have found the ram he's been watching for the last few days, and it is across a giant canyon, a couple canyons actually, and we're going to try to put the stalk on these things, and we'll have somebody glass them from over here. Hopefully we can get it done, but the fog lifted and we finally located him, and we found Pretty Boy.
Yeah, he's within, I don't know, a couple hundred yards of where we put him to bed last night, but he's just up higher on the mountain, so he didn't disappear, thank God.
So
But
we're
he's
gonna
there.
see what we can do.
Yeah,
Here we go. All you're gonna see is sweat from here on out.
it's a fun time.
I've found sometimes the hardest way is the quickest. And that's what we did.
That's exactly what we did.
We just went up the ridge, dropped off in this canyon, I'll call it that.
Yeah.
And, it's
It's steep.
steep.
It's
Straight
rough
down.
country.
You get clear to the
Very
bottom,
rough.
and then you got to go clear up the other side, and we were sweating to the oldies. Working our way down a cliff. Got to cross that big canyon, up the other side, down to the end of it, where we last seen a sheep go over the top. Here we go. Hope he's big enough to shoot.
If he's over here, he's gonna get shot no matter what. No, I'm kidding.
What'd you do with our trail?
You're following it. Up an old cattle fence in the middle of the desert.
See that tree up there? It gets flat at that tree.
Then you'll see these real grainy pictures, but it's kind of cool video
was a
of
long
us
ways away.
from Troy. It's a mile and a half probably.
It was a long way.
As a crow flies across that
Amazing
canyon.
he got that.
Yeah, so he's filming with that phone scope.
They couldn't see the ram. They'd watched it feed just over the top of that furthest ridge, and they assumed that they bedded down, and it was about that time of morning that they would have. So all they could do is just sort of help us know where.
Yeah, they just
lost
let us
on.
right. They let us know where they'd last seen the ram. So when we top out, we got to locate this sheep.
Welcome to Extreme Desire. It's not always perfect, but it's always real. Proudly brought to you by Cryptek Apparel, from the battlefield to the backcountry. Leupold, America's Sport Optics Authority. Kafaru International, gear for life. Mountain Ops, there's no off-season. And Onyx Maps, visualize your success. We are do-it-yourself, backcountry big game hunting. It's our extreme desire. This segment brought to you by Benchmade Knives, made in USA.
We top out over that hill. I ease out there and look, and boom, I see Pretty Boy bedded with a ewe, and I can only see one ewe, and I know there's probably 20 or 30 other sheep that went over the top with him. And so I back up and we make a plan. What was really cool though, we had Troy and Terry and Dawn on the side we spotted from originally. And Troy had, with his phone scope, was able to film us. So every time you look and you see this film, you'll see us with our camera as we put a stalk on Pretty Boy, and he is bedded with that one ewe higher up. Once I got closer, I could see other sheep more down below us, but so we had to stay up there, and we eased into position. I had to borrow my rifle, a 6.5 300 Weatherby, because we didn't know how far away it was going to be, and I know that gun, and I could dial it for whatever. But this was going to be a hold-on, no problem shot. And just as we get all set up, the ram stood up out of his bed, as you can see, posed for us.
Yep.
Looking at his hot little mama there, and he takes the shot.
Jeez. If you could take it, take it. He's down. He's down. Woohoo!
Thank you.
As you can see, Troy has got all this on film from 1.5 miles away of all we're
So
doing.
amazing.
It was,
And when that ram went down, I just threw the camera in the air and started screaming, and those guys could hear us clear over there, and they were jumping up and
and
down
they're
and
screaming,
hooting and
hollering.
hollering.
So it's really cool because you get to hear their excitement and you get to hear our excitement from two different places.
Woo-hoo! Good job, buddy.
Put your hands on that thing. Whoa.
Hey.
When Ed first walked up to that sheep, it's like, I told him, I says, Ed, he's going to be way bigger than you think. And it was.
He was happy.
Oh my!
He was
He is.
ecstatic.
It's one of the most absolute beautiful rams. Just so pretty, and just like it was, properly named when he called him Pretty Boy.
Yes. But it was cool because everybody was there before we actually packed the sheep out. That was
Before
really
before we took care of him all the way. It's just one of those once in a lifetime experiences, and get everybody together and let them touch and feel and see the sheep. What a magnificent animal!
they are.
Well, this is the actual whole sheep hunting clan.
That's the crew.
They were been spotting Troy and, or not Troy, excuse me, Ed and Terry and Don. They've been here spotting for a few days, and we came in. We've been here a day and a half, and spotting and glassing and looking for critters, and we located this guy, and we was just hoping to find him opening day. I tell you, I'm sure you guys have had a ball.
Oh, it's been a blast.
It's been
Had
so
a
fun.
great time. Couldn't have imagined it.
Yeah.
Once in a lifetime. Once in
tell
a
ya.
lifetime.
We got a Benchmade altitude.
Which is
A ram like this deserves only the best.
That's right. That's right. We'll put that up there. How's that? Then we got, there it is. It's got his name inscribed on it. Ed Boero, California Bighorn 2018. What do you
There you
think?
go.
Lucky I didn't miss.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the show. It was a lot of fun bringing it to you. Sheep hunt was just incredibly fun.
They're always fun. If you get to go on a sheep hunt, go. If somebody needs some eyeballs, and yeah, don't pass it up. It's a great time. But we want to ask you once again, social media is everything these days, and we're not the world's greatest at
That's
it, but
for sure. We're dinosaurs, but we try.
we do our best. So we can't say enough to like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram, and we have a YouTube channel called Randy and Candy Yow's Extreme Desire. Please, our personal pages, our Extreme Desire pages, like and follow us on everything, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, because that's what keeps us going.
That's the only way we can do more
Yeah.
episodes. So if you like our episodes, if you like our hunts, which we hear constantly, help us out a little bit by following and subscribing.
Yeah. And if you see Ed Boero, run around, tell him congratulations on a nice ram.
Exactly.
Thank you very much. God bless.
I really appreciate all you being here. Thank you so much.
Thank you for asking us.
Thanks for letting us.
Thanks for letting us tag along.
Worth it, except for maybe the uphill.
The uphill.
I was tired watching you guys.
Go, pretty boy.
I think the work started when we climbed up the hill today. I hate to
We were sweating to the oldies.
Yeah, we saw you guys stripping your clothes up. I go, I don't think they're hunting anymore. I think they quit.